I raised a child for 3 years, loved him like he was my own. But the day I found out he wasn't mine, I didn't just lose a son, I lost myself. Welcome to Infidelity Truths. Before we dive into today's gripping story, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more thrilling stories just for you. Let's begin. I used to love someone so deeply that I would have done anything to protect her from pain, even if it meant swallowing my own. That was me, Noah. For almost 2 years, my wife Sophie and I had been trying to have a baby. You know the kind of trying, I mean. Charts, ovulation apps, silent sobs after negative tests, and those long, suffocating hugs on the bathroom floor. Every month, like clockwork, we sat on the edge of the tub. She'd cry softly into my chest. It broke me every time. One night, she whispered, "Maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe fate's saying we're not ready." I held her tighter, nodding. I didn't dare speak the doubts that gnawed at me. Was it me? Was something wrong with me? After the eighth failed month, I booked an appointment with a fertility specialist. Quietly, alone. I didn't want Sophie feeling guilty. I needed answers. The doctor was polite. Too polite. That kind of tone you hear right before bad news. "Mr. Collins," he began, "you have a rare condition, azoospermia. Your sperm count isn't low. It's 0. You've been sterile since birth." I froze. "What can we do?" I asked like an idiot. "IVF, hormones." He shook his head slowly. "There's nothing to be done." I drove in circles for nearly an hour before pulling into our driveway. Inside, Sophie was cross-legged on the couch, smiling down at her iPad. "Hey, babe," she said, cheerful. "You still like the name Caleb?" It was on our old list. I nodded. I didn't trust my voice. I went upstairs, locked the bathroom door, and stared into the mirror for hours. A part of me died that night, but the worst was still ahead. I didn't tell her, not yet. I told myself I needed time to think, to process. But then strange things started happening. Her mood changed. Her stress was gone. She was glowing again, the woman who once cried at every missed period. Then one day, I saw a phone notification light up. Doctor, Langston, ultrasound. I didn't touch it, but I couldn't look away. When she walked in, I asked, "Who's Dr. Langston?" Too quickly. "Oh, just a routine thing. I had cramps. Nothing serious." That night, she hummed as she curled into bed beside me. "I've been thinking, we should look at baby cribs again." "Cribs?" I managed. "Yeah," she said, kissing my shoulder. "I think it's going to work this time." I couldn't breathe. I barely slept. I noticed more changes. Her phone had a new password. She took calls in the hallway. Clinic charges appeared on our bank statement I didn't recognize. One morning, just before work, she grinned at me. "Hey, I've got a surprise for you tonight." "What kind?" "The best kind," she said, touching her stomach. "We're pregnant." My ears rang. I smiled. I don't remember choosing to. "That's amazing," I said. Inside, I crumbled. I excused myself to the bathroom and threw up everything I had eaten that week. "You okay, babe?" She knocked. "Yeah, just happy tears," I lied. That night, while she slept, I reached for her tablet. She'd synced it with her phone. I knew the backup settings. Her password? Our wedding date. There it was, a message thread with a contact I didn't recognize. "Sophie, he doesn't suspect a thing." He actually looked relieved, like it was a miracle. "I told you it would work." Then, a photo of her in the silk robe I'd gifted her, holding a positive test. Caption, "Our future." My fingers shook as I screenshot everything, backed it up to a USB labeled "Truth." And then I waited. I collected more texts, receipts, charges to a baby boutique, Uber rides to and from a hotel. I reached out to an old contact, a PI who specialized in infidelity. 60% of my business, he said. He told me what to do. That weekend, I took Sophie to dinner, told her I wanted to be there more for her and the baby. She beamed. "That's all I ever wanted, babe." On the way home, I suggested a couples wellness panel. My job offered discounts. She agreed. Blood samples were taken. She kissed me in the parking lot. This is going to be the start of something beautiful, she said. 2 weeks later, the envelope arrived. Alias name. Untraceable. I opened it alone. Probability of paternity. 0%. I hired a lawyer the next day. We drafted everything. Divorce papers, a paternity fraud claim, asset division. I prepared a red envelope with the full truth. Messages, receipts, lab results, timelines. I even wrote a note for her parents. Open if she tries to spin the story. Then I waited for the perfect moment. Sunday dinner, our tradition. Sophie wore a pale pink dress. Her curls were perfect. Her hand kept resting on her stomach. He's already kicking, she said, smiling at her mom. Her dad joked, he'll have Noah's brains, so we're good. If only he knew. After dessert, I stood, raised my glass. To miracles, to family, to truth. Sophie looked up, smiling, then confused. When Sophie told me we were expecting, I was speechless. I thought it was fate, a blessing, even though medically I knew I couldn't be a father. Silence. The air shifted. Love makes you believe impossible things, I continued, like immaculate conception. Her mom whispered, Noah, what are you saying? I held up my hand. Let me finish. I placed the red envelope on the table. This contains the truth. Lab results, screenshots, receipts, everything. Her dad leaned forward. What the hell is going on? Sophie's voice trembled. Noah, please, don't. It's not mine, I said. The baby. You knew. You planned it. While I sat in silence thinking I'd failed you, you were building a family with someone else? Her mother gasped. Her sister dropped her fork. Sophie cried. I didn't mean for it to happen. I just wanted a child so badly. You didn't tell me, I said quietly. You used me. I turned to her parents. This is the last time I'll sit at this table as Sophie's husband. Then I walked out, left the door open behind me. I stayed at my friend Eric's that night. He didn't ask. Just handed me a beer, turned on the game. Sometimes that's all you need. Sophie texted, called, left voicemails. Please, Noah, I was scared. I never stopped loving you. We can fix this. I'll do anything. I never responded. My lawyer did. The divorce? Swift. Clean. The judge barely blinked at the evidence. Sophie didn't contest. Couldn't. Especially not after we served notice to the other man, Liam. The he'll never find out guy. He found out. He ghosted her, deleted socials, changed numbers. She messaged me asking if I'd seen him. I just want him in the baby's life. I didn't reply, but I laughed. Her dad called me 2 weeks later, invited me to lunch. I'm sorry, he said over cold coffee. We raised her better than this, or at least, we thought we did. I just nodded. Her mother sent a card after the hearing. You deserve better. We're ashamed. Wishing you peace. I kept it in a drawer. I started therapy. Every Tuesday at 5. Nancy, my therapist, said something I'll never forget. You may never be a biological father, Noah, but you just proved you know how to protect, how to stand up, and how to let go. That's a different kind of strength. And I cried. Finally, not from shame. Got a new job, moved into a new apartment, started hiking again, joined a book club. Slow steps. Real ones. Sometimes people ask if I still want kids. I tell them the truth. I can't be a father. But I'll never again destroy myself trying to be one for someone who never deserved it. So thank you, Sophie. Not for the lies, not for the betrayal, but for the clarity. You showed me exactly who I never want to be. And that's a gift I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. That night, I didn't go back to the house. I crashed at Elijah's. He didn't ask questions, just handed me a beer and turned on some old Premier League reruns. That's how men like us deal. With silence, with presence, with letting the storm pass without feeding it. I didn't say much. I didn't need to. I'd already said everything that needed to be said at the table. Over the next few days, my phone became a war zone. Missed calls, voicemails, texts, all from Diane. Please, Jordan. I didn't mean for it to happen. I just wanted a baby. I never stopped loving you. We can fix this, please. I didn't respond, not even once. My lawyer did the talking. We filed for divorce immediately, citing paternity fraud and emotional cruelty. With the level of evidence we had, texts, photos, medical documents, financial trails, it didn't take long. The court didn't even blink. The judge's face barely moved as the binder was handed over. Diane didn't contest anything. She couldn't. Especially not after my lawyer served Andrew, the real father, a notice for witness testimony and potential involvement in civil fraud. She had told him, he'll never know. Well, I knew, and now Andrew did too. He disappeared faster than you could say DNA test, deleted all his social media, changed his number, moved out of town last I heard. Diane tried reaching out to him, sent me a message asking if I'd seen him. I just want him to be part of the baby's life, she wrote. I didn't reply, but I laughed. Laughed hard, louder than I had in months. It wasn't joy. It was the sound of liberation. Her parents? That was another story. 2 weeks after the confrontation, her father called me. We met for lunch at a cheap diner. He sat across from me, hands trembling slightly, eyes hollow. I'm sorry, he said quietly. We raised her better than this, or at least we thought we did. I didn't gloat. I just nodded. That was enough. Her mother sent a card after the final court date. You deserve better. We're ashamed of what she did. Wishing you peace. I slid it into a drawer and never looked at it again. As for me, I got into therapy. Every Tuesday at 5 p.m., I sat with Dr. Lenora Hayes, a quiet powerhouse of a woman who could dissect my silence in 5 seconds flat. One day, she looked me square in the eye and said, Jordan, you may never be a biological father, but you proved something most fathers never do. You know how to protect. You know how to walk away from what breaks you. That's power. I cried that day, not out of pain, but because for the first time in a long time, I felt seen. I got a new job, moved into a smaller place, started hiking again, joined a weekend book club, took slow, steady breaths into a life I didn't expect, but one that was mine. People asked if I still wanted kids. I gave them the same answer every time. I may never be a father, but I refuse to destroy myself trying to be one for someone who never deserved me. A few months after the dust settled, after the ink dried, the house was sold, and my name was once again mine alone, I wrote Diane a letter. Not to send, just to say the things I never had the chance to say aloud. I never mailed the letter. I didn't need to. Writing it was enough. Folding the pain into words gave me a sense of closure that no court ruling or silent stare ever could. It read, Diane, I'm not writing to curse you, to beg for answers, or to reopen wounds that already bleed every time I remember your face. I'm writing to say goodbye. You shattered something in me I didn't think could break. Not just trust, but identity. I built a future with you brick by brick, never once suspecting you'd bring a wrecking ball. For years, I believed we were building a life. Now I realize I was building alone. You didn't just lie. You let me name a child that wasn't mine. You watched me fall in love with someone else's child. You saw me hold him, protect him, dream for him, while keeping the truth buried so deep it rotted everything we were supposed to be. And yet, I don't hate you, because hate keeps the wound open. And I'm done bleeding for you. I'm done waking up wondering what was real. I'm done rereading texts, rewatching memories, rethinking every moment we shared just to find where it all turned. You chose betrayal, and I chose survival. You once asked if I ever truly loved you. Yes. God help me, I did. But that man, the one who loved you, he's gone now. You buried him with every lie you told. And in his place is someone stronger, someone who doesn't need your permission to heal. I hope your son grows up never knowing the damage you caused. I hope you become a better woman for him, because he didn't ask for any of this, but me? I'm free now. And I intend to stay that way. Jordan. I folded the letter, slipped it into an envelope, and slid it into the back of my drawer, next to the wedding photos, the court papers, and the ultrasound picture I had once framed. Not as a keepsake, as a reminder that I survived. 3 years passed. 3 silent, aching, rebuilding years. I moved out of the city and into a quiet neighborhood where no one knew my story. I sold the house Diane and I once shared, the one with the nursery I painted in blue and gray with dreams that were never mine to keep. I started over, not with grand gestures, not with revenge, but with small steps. Therapy, long walks, late night journaling, and learning how to sit in my own silence without feeling hollow. People say time heals. They lie. Time doesn't heal anything. It's what you do with the time that matters. I invested mine in becoming someone I could recognize again, someone I could respect. I started mentoring at risk youth, offering them the kind of support I never got when my world fell apart. Their pain reminded me of my own, and helping them helped me too. One evening, while packing up after a youth mentorship seminar, I heard a voice behind me. "You're Jordan, right? I've heard about the work you do here. It's inspiring." Her name was Amara, a fellow volunteer. She had a quiet strength about her, no makeup, no show, just presence. We talked, then we kept talking. Coffee turned into dinners. Conversations turned into comfort. But I was cautious. I didn't let her in easily. Scars don't fade, they just stop bleeding. And I still bled when I remembered how Diane looked me in the eyes and lied without flinching. Amara never pushed. She listened. She laughed. She stayed. And eventually I allowed myself to feel again. Not like before. Better. She never asked for the full story. But one night I gave it to her anyway. Every ugly truth, every broken piece. When I finished, I braced for the pity, the discomfort. But she just touched my hand and said, "You didn't deserve that, but you deserved to survive it, and you did." That was the first time I cried in 2 years. Not out of pain, but release. I never saw Diane again. I heard from a mutual friend that she moved abroad. Her son, his son, is thriving, unaware of the storm that brought him into this world. I wish him peace. As for me, I found mine. Not in revenge, not in bitterness, but in choosing life after betrayal tried to take it from me. So if you're reading this and you've been broken by love, by lies, by someone who looked you in the eye and still chose to destroy you, know this: you can rise. You will rise. Because surviving isn't just about staying alive, it's about choosing to live again. Thank you, my amazing subscribers. Wow, what a journey. If you've made it to the end of this story, I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Your support means everything to me. Every time you watch, like, and comment, you're helping keep this channel alive and growing. And trust me, the best is yet to come. I see all your comments. I feel your love, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Your thoughts and feedback inspire me to create even more powerful stories. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a new upload. More shocking twists, emotional journeys, and real-life lessons are on the way, and I don't want you to miss a single one. Together, we're building an incredible community, and I'm so grateful to have you on this journey with me. Stay strong, stay inspired, and remember, sometimes life's greatest lessons come from the most unexpected moments. See you in the next story.